Large dicing a potato. First, you're going to want to go ahead and peel the potato. Make sure you peel it thoroughly, leaving no sprouts or eyes, no skin at all. Cut off the ends of the potato. And then, since it's rounded in shape, square off the sides. Try to find a balance between getting the straightest cuts, straightest edges that you can, and wasting as little as possible. For a large dice, the dimensions are going to be 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch cube. When you're first getting started, nothing wrong with lining the potato up against your knife cut guide, just to double check your measurements, see how many you think you'll get. You make your first cut 3/4 of an inch thick. Second cut, also 3/4 of an inch thick, trimming off any excess edges. And then go ahead and make your final cut, giving you your large dice cube. Larger cuts, be careful, imperfections are easier to see than on smaller cuts. Large dice potato. For medium dice, obviously the technique is going to be the same. You're just going to want to cut that cut a little bit smaller. So once again, taking a peeled potato, cutting off the ends, and then flattening out the edges. Nice straight edges, minimal waste. It's always a good idea to save peeled potato scraps, perhaps to use in other applications. Mashed potatoes being a good example. Medium dice, dimensions are 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch cubed. So once you've determined your overall width and how many slices you think you'll get, make your first cut 1/2 of an inch thick. Once you've cut your initial sheets, and take them, make your second 1/2 inch cut. Remember again, medium dice still being a slightly larger dice. You want to be very careful that your edges are straight and that your squares are cubes, because the imperfections are much easier to see. And make your final cut 1/2 of an inch thick, giving you your medium dice. Moving on to small dice potatoes. Technique is the same as per the large and medium dice. Cut off your edges, square off the potato. This time for small dice, we're going to be shooting for 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch cubes. When first learning your cuts, there should be a clear differentiation in size between the large, medium, and small dice. It's very common at first for students to veer on the large side, so just pay close attention to making sure that your cuts are the size they're supposed to be. Here we cut our 1/4 inch thick sheets. And once you have your sheets, make your next 1/4 inch thick cut. This cut is the bassinet cut, a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 2 to 2.5 inch stick. And then when you feel comfortable, Try stacking 2 slices on top of each other, thereby doubling your productivity. Once you cut your batonette, one last 1/4 inch thick cut will bring you to your small dice. These smaller cuts can be harder to see, and just because the imperfections are a little bit harder to see doesn't mean you should place any less care in the cut. So there you can see the difference between large, medium, and small dice. As previously mentioned, for the batonette cut, which is what we did on our way to getting these small dice cut, we want to have a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 2 to 2.5 inch stick. The batonette should be as long, if not longer, and thicker than a julienne.